That 70s Show is an American television period sitcom that originally aired on Fox from August 23, 1998, to May 18, 2006. The series focused on the lives of a group of teenage friends living in the fictional suburban town of Point Place, Wisconsin, from May 17, 1976, to December 31, 1979. The main teenage cast members were Topher Grace, Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher, Danny Masterson, Laura Prepon, and Wilmer Valderrama. The main adult cast members were Deborah Jo Rupp, Kurtwood Smith, Don Stark, and Tanya Roberts. Production. Opening theme song. The show usually opens with the theme song, "In the Street," written by Alex Chilton and Chris Bell of the band Big Star. The original version of the song appeared on Big Star's 1972 debut album Number One record. In 2000, Chilton confirmed that he was paid $70 in royalties each time the show aired, an amount he thought ironic, given the show's title. Big Star's original version of the song was not used on the show. Instead, a cover version sung by Todd Griffin was used as the theme song for the show's first season. Beginning in the second season, the theme song was performed by the band Cheap Trick. Unlike previous versions of the song, Cheap Trick ended the song with the repeated phrase, "We're all right," quoting the ending of their 1978 hit song, Surrender. Both versions of the song used on the show end with somebody yelling, "Hello, Wisconsin." On the soundtrack That 70s album, Cheap Trick's lead singer Robin Zander yells, "Hello, Wisconsin." Alternate holiday versions of the theme song were arranged for Halloween and Christmas specials, using organ music and bells, respectively. Opening credits. Opening credits for seasons 1 to 7 showed members of the cast driving in Eric's car singing the theme song together. At the conclusion of the opening, a shot of a 1970s-style Wisconsin license plate is seen, showing the year in which the episode was taking place in the bottom right corner. During the first season's opening, a single shot of the group is used, beginning with Season 2. Numerous alternating shots were used of the cast in various groupings. After Topher Grace and Ashton Kutcher left the series, the opening credits were reworked for Season 8 to feature close-up shots of each of the actors singing a line of the theme song in the circle. The only actors to not say or do anything in the new opening credits were Kurtwood Smith and Tommy Chong, with the exception of the first episode of Season 8, when Chong sings the last "We're all right." Smith looks at the camera frowning and rolls his eyes. Chong looks around the room, confused as he hears, "Hello, Wisconsin." The final episode omits most of the opening sequence and instead only shows the license plate shot. Elements of the show. The 1970s. The show addressed social issues of the 1970s such as sexism, sexual attitudes, generational conflict, the economic hardships of the 1970s recession, mistrust of the American government by blue-collar workers, and teenage drug use, including underage drinking. The series also highlighted developments in the entertainment industry, including the television remote, the video game Pong, Mad Magazine, and Eric's obsession with Star Wars. The show has been compared to Happy Days, which was similarly set 20 years before the time in which it aired. Beginning with the second season, the show focused less on the socio-political aspects of the story. For example, the dynamic of the relationship between Eric and Donna was altered in later seasons to more closely resemble the relationships of other power couples on teen dramas. Likewise, the first season of the show featured a recurring, more dramatic storyline in which the Formans were in danger of losing their home due to Red's hours being cut back at the auto parts plant where he worked. Storylines in later seasons were generally presented more comically and less dramatically. The show also featured guest-starring actors from 1970s TV shows, such Mary Tyler Moore, Valerie Harper and Betty White, Tom Poston and Jack Riley. Pamela Sue Martin, Tim Reed and Howard Hesseman, Eve Plum, Barry Williams and Christopher Knight, Tom Bosley and Marion Ross, Monty Hall, Gavin MacLeod, Don Knotts, Richard Klein and Jenna Lee Harrison, and Danny Bonaduce and Shirley Jones. Beginning with Season 5, each episode in the season is named after a song by a rock band that was famous in the 70s. Led Zeppelin, The Who, The Rolling Stones, and Queen. Split screens. One device in the show is to present a split screen in which two pairs of characters speak. One character is usually seeking advice on a problem with a character in the second pairing, and the other character advises them. Although the conversations appear to mirror each other, notable differences often occur. It is most often used by the couples of the show, with each member of the couple being advised on the relationship. For example, in the episode, Who Wants It More?, Donna and Eric tell Jackie and Hyde that they have been holding out on each other sexually for 3 days and that maybe they should cave. Both Jackie and Hyde tell Donna and Eric not to cave or the caver will be owned by the other. Dream sequences. The show includes character daydream sequences, some of which refer to or parody fads and films of the time, such as Star Wars, Rocky, and Grease. The character picturing the dream sometimes also narrates it, but regardless, the other characters present see the same dream. In the episode, Stone Cold Crazy, Jackie mentioned she liked the song playing in Fez's dream sequence. The sequences are usually introduced by a wobbling screen transition. Sometimes, the transition is absent when the characters who imagine the scene believe they're real. In the 100th episode, That 70s Musical, all singing scenes were Fez's dream sequences. The circle. In this circle, a group of characters, usually the teenagers, sit in a circle, as the camera pans, stopping at each character as he or she speaks. It was usually apparent that the characters are under the influence of marijuana. Thick clouds of smoke, frequent coughing, and an extreme wide-angle lens added to the drug-induced feel, although the audience never saw anyone actually smoking the drug. Also, no visible drug-related paraphernalia were seen, such as bongs or joint papers. Characters never spoke the word marijuana while in the circle, often referring to it as stuff or stash. In the episode, Bye Bye Basement, Theo refers to weed in The Relapse. Kelso tells Fez that the concrete wall behind the gym is used mostly for smoking weed and beating up freshmen in Ski Trip. Kitty asks Eric why he is taking so much oregano to Jackie's ski lodge in Eric's burger job. Kelso blames his roach clip when the waterbed pops on which he is sitting at a party. In 2 episodes, Eric and Hyde can be seen wearing shirts with the words Cannabis Sativa written on a Campbell's soup can, and in The Pill, Red, referring to Kelso, exclaims, "That kid's on dope." A gimmick related to the circle and the marijuana smoking was Eric watching the kitchen wall moving erratically. Although this technique was also used to show that Eric was drunk. As the series progressed, the circle became one of the series' recurring features. The only 4 episodes where the whole gang is in the circle are Class Picture, I'm a Boy, Substitute, and in the series finale. During the 8th and final season, the circle replaced the Vista Cruiser as the setting of the opening credits. The stupid helmet. The stupid helmet refers to an old replica of a Green Bay Packers helmet that a character is forced to wear after having done or said something deemed stupid by the rest of the gang. Eric had to wear it when he said he wanted to propose to Donna, and Fez wore it when he started banging his head on the table after trying to help Kelso keep Jackie. The helmet can be seen in the Foreman basement on a shelf behind the cast. When the series concluded in 2006, Kelso took the helmet with him. The last one up the staircase had to call Red a dumbass, something he always called the kids. Since Kelso was the last one up, he grabbed the helmet. The water tower. In many episodes, the teenaged characters often hang out on a local water tower. At the end of several water tower segments, at least one character falls off. When Charlie Richardson fell off and died in Season 8, the water tower was renamed in his honor. After Charlie's death, Kelso fell off again, but survived, leading him to believe he was invincible. In the water tower episode, the gang painted a marijuana leaf on the tower, but it looked more like a green hand giving the finger. In the episode, The Immigrant Song, Kelso paints Jackie and his names on the tower to annoy Hyde just before falling and ending up in the hospital. During this episode, Fez paints his manhood on the tower, but only gets as far as drawing a circle when the police arrive to arrest him. Kelso was known to fall off the water tower once in every grade since middle school. Jackie and Fez share their first official kiss on the tower in the show's finale. Scene changes. In the first season, scene changes were typically still images of faces from the 1970s with only the mouth moving using synchrovox, usually yelling, in a rock form, yeah, or something similar. Other scene changes often showed no people, just black backgrounds with a colorful object exploding, replicating, deflating, or bouncing around. Sometimes, there would be visuals of lava lamps with the show's logo plummeting to the bottom of the screen in front of it. Beginning in Season 2, scene changes featured the characters doing something in front of a colorful, psychedelic, lava lamp-like background. These transitions featured the most prominent characters of the episode, usually dancing, falling, or making facial expressions. The music accompanying these colorful sequences would match the tone of the episode and characters. By the show's final season, new bumpers were created to accommodate cast changes. Nobody's Fault But Mine is the only episode where Laurie Foreman is featured in a scene transition. Tanya Roberts is the only actor not to be featured in a scene transition. The Vista Cruiser. Many of the show's episodes featured Eric and the rest of the kids in or around Eric's Aztec Gold 1969 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser, handed down to Eric by Red. For the first 7 seasons of the show's introduction showed the cast inside the Vista Cruiser. The show's pronunciation of Vista Cruiser, with emphasis on cruiser, conflicted with the pronunciation of author George Plimpton in the Oldsmobile television advertisement for the 1969 Vista Cruiser, where he pronounced the 2 words with the emphasis on Vista. That particular station wagon was bought by Wilmer Valderrama at the show's conclusion from Cassie Warner for $500. In August 2009, the show's Vista Cruiser was named 3rd greatest television car ever by MSN Autos. Running gags. In one of the show's major running gags, Red often threatens to punish Eric with many variations of kicking your ass. For example, in Kitty and Eric's Night Out, Red mistakenly thinks Eric offended Kitty, so Red says, "I swear I'll kick his ass." In Eric's Hot Cousin, Eric tries to get out of something by claiming he's sleepwalking, and Red says, "And I'm about to be sleep-kicking your ass." And, in Prank Day, after Red gets covered in oatmeal, Eric tries to explain that it was just a prank that had gone horribly wrong, and Red says, "Well, I have a prank, too. One where my foot doesn't plow through your ass. Let's hope it doesn't go horribly wrong." Some other notable running gags are: Red's favorite insult is "dumbass," the origin of which is revealed in That 70s Halloween. Ironically, Eric is the first character to say "dumbass" in Eric's Burger Job. The insult is adopted by the whole gang and even occasionally by Kitty. Red regularly comes up with new choice insults such as "kettlehead." Fez's country of origin is never revealed. Sometimes, Fez is about to disclose where he is from, or at least to hint at it, but something happens to prevent him from doing so, like someone entering the room as seen in Stolen Car, or Fez rambling in Love of My Life. Red often calls Fez by some exotic foreign name when he is speaking directly to him. The word "burn," a term used by a character after something bad or offensive happens at another character's expense, is used. According to Kelso in Dine and Dash, a good burn consists of 2 elements. You didn't see it coming. Parts of it really hurt. Kelso yells, "Ow my eye," when Hyde roughhouses with him. For example, in the episode Class Picture, a series of flashbacks feature Hyde beating up Kelso. While the two are out of the immediate sight of the audience, Kelso yells, "Ow my eye," and the scene cuts to the next flashback. This gag is repeated several times throughout the series, although the only time Kelso appears with an injured eye is in Jackie's cheese squeeze, after he was punched by Tot, Jackie's manager. On that occasion, Kelso did not yell, "Ow my eye." Fez uses of the phrase, "Good day," followed by another cast member saying, "But Fez," and Fez immediately interrupts with an exclamatory, "I said good day." In some instances, the words vary, but the interaction is the same. Eric has a never-ending streak of quoting Star Wars films. In several episodes, he relates things to a Star Wars film, or quotes the movie. In times of trouble, he brings a toy lightsaber, and his going-away present from Donna was her dressing up as Princess Leia. Everyone who calls Eric's action figures dolls is always loudly corrected by Eric. They're action figures. Kitty often uses alcohol, or her use is mentioned, particularly after she starts menopause during the 5th season.